Hello and welcome to Wine Wins, everybody. I see we've got 34 viewers and 17 likes. You guys know the drill. We've got all four of us here. However, we haven't heard Kellogg speak, so we don't know if his mic works or not. It could be like a weekend at Bernie's edition where we're just propping him up, and I actually am signed in through my phone on Zoom as Jack Kellogg. But until he speaks, we'll know if he's here or not. But welcome, everybody, to Wine Wednesday. How was that, Don? Was that good?
I like it. I like it.
There we go. Dom challenged me to a great 30-second pitch, and hopefully...
You didn't sell the 7-day...
$7 7-day trial. Get in the Clover chat room.
It's cheaper than Huddy's Frappe Mochaccino.
That was crazy today. You were like, Huddy, Huddy was like, I spent $10. Like, really? I was like, oh, shit. Starbucks is getting up there.
Coffee's expensive these days.
Yeah.
Reverse market crash.
Right? Just like our most used term now because
I saw it again. Graham Stephan just put another video out today about it.
That's just
All right.
It's a buzzword.
Yeah, that's what.
And I'll bet you
irritates me.
management's probably like, well, one of you make a video on reverse market crash.
Yeah, that's what irritates me about the financial YouTube world now is that like there's about 4 or 5 channels that just put out the same. I mean, it's good educational content, but it's the same trend. Like, at 1 week, they're all posting about why the next recession's coming. Then the next week, they're posting about why the recession's canceled. And now this week, it's the reverse market crash. It's like, it just, I don't know. It just gives me crowd ick of like, everyone's just moving along in the same direction.
You want to know what it is? No one knows anything.
Mm-hmm.
And what we always say is like, don't predict, just wait for runners, whatever it is. These people, they got to predict. But then, like, no one looks back 30 days when they told you that a recession was imminent and the stock market's making new highs.
Right.
Which it's not right now, but it looks like it.
I mean, almost on the year it is. It's pretty damn close. Well, anyways, welcome, everybody.
Yeah, where's everyone tuning in from?
Yeah,
I'm currently in Guadalajara.
Dom's
As
favorite
per
country. I have no wine tonight, but I have a lovely Truly. I have the seltzers that are from a previous party that I'm slowly getting rid of.
When was this party? Was it New Year's?
It was a boat day that we did. When we do it? A month ago, Kelly says. And so we just have leftover seltzers. We have wine, but we're saving the wine because tonight we have Friendsgiving. In about 2 hours, we're going to have 10 plus people over here. We've got all the feasts.
And you drank all the Trulies.
Trulies will be gone, but we'll have wine then. So it's a later Wine Wednesday.
Which is crazy because when Wine Wednesday gets done, it's like bedtime. But for you, it's like it's not even the pregame to the Thanksgiving.
Right, it'll be 5 p.m. I'm just warming up.
I'll tell you what.
Huddy told me we were working tonight.
We might be. I hate the West Coast. Once you go to the East Coast and you realize how much time you have pre-market to do some like due diligence, take a shower, eat some breakfast, go to the gym, and it's still like 8 a.m. and you can still do a lot. It's wow.
See, I just move all those things till 1 p.m. Like I just go to the gym.
It is. I see Kyle when he posts stuff for work, and it's like his hours that he gets stuff done are so different than I'm like, dude, that's like finally time to chill. It's finally time to relax. It's 4, 5, 6 o'clock, and that's when he's working. And then later when I'm sleeping, he's just out raging.
Yeah, that's when I have my free time is 6 p.m. and after. So
Carl says 2:30 market open in Ireland. The best, I think.
Gosh.
I don't know. I'm so mixed on that. I'd
PM.
have to do it.
Yeah. I'm almost like in the boat where I'm going to move to Europe and get back on that schedule. It was so nice. Like pre-market was 11 a.m. when it opened. You just saw everything so clear, like from a mile away.
Huddy, did you enjoy Dubai's time when we were there?
I think you need just more time to acclimate to it and like just kind of find your rhythm. I think that's a really important aspect. Like again,
Huddy, what was your rhythm?
I was
give me a day in the life. Go.
The rhythm was great. It was wake up at 11, go to the beach. Right, eat
so we weren't up late, right?
No, we were up late. We woke up at 11. We tried to get our 8 hours.
Do they got Taco Bell over there?
And sometimes we go straight to the beach and we watch the clock. We kind of run home at like 2:30. Get there for market open at 4. Only really want to be trading for like an hour and a half. Because then, dinner and like nighttime activities, sunset services coming up. So go to dinner. I don't know what this is on my face. Okay. And then, go to dinner, and dinner was like 9 o'clock, about an hour before market close. And, check on my phone, look for something to buy overnight for a potential swing. Back in August, that was working great. And, wake up at 11 a.m. the next morning and sell. It was great.
Sounds awesome.
It was a great life to live. But Dubai was like 5 p.m. market open and then midnight close.
Yeah, 5:30 open.
That's a little more awkward.
I'm a night owl, so I actually enjoyed it to some degree. The only thing that was a downside that I could see conflicting with, not conflicting, but overlaying with like social life is that once the Friday comes around and you're like, you kind of, I know for me, a lot of my Friday and Saturday nights is like the time to actually totally disconnect from the market and go hang out with friends and family. And so I know in like Dubai, it's like, well, my Friday, unless I really, I mean, I would see myself either A, missing most closes Friday, or even honestly most market hours, because like 5:30, it's right where I'd start thinking about what to do with dinner. Or I would just not have a Friday night to myself, essentially. So
Dubai is tougher, I think. I like the 2:30, 9 p.m. type of idea, and then anything kind of left of that.
Well, let's talk about we have some comments in the chat. Let's talk about some of the worst time zones to trade in. Hawaii is tough. We've got some people from Hawaii, and
Hawaii is undoable.
Yeah, I've been there.
Like
I've been there twice since being a trader, and the first time I told myself I was going to wake up and completely slept through my alarm. The other time I just didn't even show up because it was kind of vacation time for me. So definitely tough.
We're doing worse time zones internationally.
I think yeah.
I would say probably San Diego.
Asia's pretty bad.
Yeah, Asia's really tough. What, the market opens in some countries like 12 a.m. Like midnight is when they open.
It's just exactly flipped. Like it's 12 hours. I guess like Thailand, right? It's 12 hours ahead. So it's like what, 9:30 p.m. open and then 4 a.m. close.
Crazy. That's
like,
yeah.
You just literally have to be a night owl.
Not even night owl. You literally have to be night shift. Like you gotta fully just sleep during the day.
I think Iceland would have a good time zone. Reykjavik, it's like an hour, maybe 2 hours past New York. I think like 11:30 would be market open. Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
Very interesting indeed.
It's kind of a good time.
Well, what do we
tell me you're privileged without telling me you're privileged?
It's because I know map and time zones.
You tell me you've been to Reykjavik?
I've never been to Reykjavik.
Dom, you've been to Guadalajara
several times.
For accuracy, Chad, he's never been to Guadalajara.
You guys have been all over the world, but have you been to Canada?
I actually have not. I've not been to Canada, oddly enough.
It's about an hour drive for me. I vacation there.
Yeah, close enough. Have you been to Mexico?
On cruises, not like directly going there.
Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, 30-minute drive for me, so we're opposites here.
You are Tijuana, right?
I'm right there. Yep.
Yeah. Wow, that's a really good wine. What is that?
Yeah, what are we drinking?
You tell us.
Oh, it's Incarnadine. Sunset is the start of something beautiful. I believe that. 2020 Pinot. How do people do this on the YouTube? They go like this, and one of them focuses.
I see it pretty clearly. They got a bear riding a unicycle. It's my favorite.
Yep, that's what it. Cause you would think with the saying about the sunset, it would be something like that, but nope, it's a big bear and a little bike.
Part of the circus.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm drinking some rosé today. I'm at a friend's house. This is what they had in the fridge.
Wow, that's off brand for you.
Just ready to roll.
Cote de rosé. I usually, this is usually the Europe drink. Part of that average.
That's a no for me always. I think I don't like. Light wine.
When you're on a boat in the middle of the Mediterranean with your wife.
Oh, I didn't know I was on a boat in the Mediterranean.
Yeah, that's when you pull out the rosé.
Let me pull back on my memories from that. Yeah, I was drinking rosé.
Now I remember. Now my memory serves me right.
That's where I tried it the first time.
Yeah.
I met the owner of that rosé company, and
he took me on his winery tour for free.
I think the owner of this rosé company is either like Brad Pitt or Brad Pitt. I think it's Brad Pitt.
That's the trend of the last, I don't know, decade, isn't it? Like celebrities just open and start their own alcohol company and then sell it for hundreds of millions of billions.
Yeah, I mean, Kendall just did it with 818 Tequila.
Yeah,
was that Miraval?
Yeah, Miraval maybe, and then
The
That's
Rock
what you're
did it
looking
with.
at.
What did The Rock do it with? What was this tequila? Forget. I forget what it's called. But wasn't Patron from a celebrity too? I thought like I
Yeah.
learned this recently. I was
That's
like,
from
what?
the show Entourage, I think.
who's George Clooney also owns one.
Yeah. Maybe it was Patron that was George Clooney.
Everyone has one.
Look at celebrity tequilas. Here we go. This is a cool little topic we just stumbled upon here.
Does anyone have celebrity vodka? I'll do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
George Clooney is Casamigos
That's it. Yeah.
dog.
The Rock is Terminana or
Yeah, I don't know.
Terminana. Terminana.
Why are they all tequila?
Yeah, I don't know.
LeBron James has one. I've never. Oh, Reposado.
Michael Jordan, Cinco Oro, Kendall Jenner 818. Yeah, The Rock, George Clooney, Casamigos, Eva Longoria, Casa del Sol tequila. The Chainsmokers have Jaja tequila. Adam Levine has Cali Rosa tequila.
Oh, Brad Pitt has a gin company.
Nick Jonas from the Jonas Brothers, Villa One tequila. I haven't even heard of these now. Now we're just getting Mark Wahlberg.
Have
has
you seen Elon Musk's?
the Tesla tequila? Yeah, I've seen that.
Can we do a Clover tequila?
Yeah, just forget this, guys.
Can we jump into a different one and do like a White Claw?
right?
our
do
own
our
seltzer?
Yeah, join the Nelk boys.
Elk Boys?
Yeah,
Let's do vodka.
Clover seltzers. This is Rolling Stones just introduced a rum. Okay, they're trying something
relevant.
different. Yeah.
That's a no from me,
So
dog.
I think Kellogg's having some technical difficulties here. He's trying to join in through his iPhone instead of his
Hey,
computer.
proof that he is alive. There's two of him now.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we
There you
can.
go. Hey, buddy.
That's great.
Hey.
We're about to go. We're
how
about
are
to
ya?
go live.
You guys are already live. Definitely wasn't born yesterday.
We're 18 minutes late. We were waiting for you.
I heard you talking about some tequilas.
I don't know how we stumbled upon the topic. We were talking about how many celebrities start their own tequila brand, and then if Clover should start their own seltzer brand now, just keep up with the times.
I think we need to go wine for wine.
I'll go
Wednesday.
wine.
I guess that's
Then
how we started.
Huddy would
yeah.
have to take us to like France or something for us to figure out which grapes we want to use. I think a more Italian wine, a more Italian grape would be good for us.
We could do Tequila Tuesday.
Mm.
That could get really gnarly, really fast.
Yeah,
I
don't
think
there's any-
that would actually be the best for Kyle. He'd make his little margs.
I mean, yeah, I already half my wine Windsors are really tequila days. So can't really. I mean, I'm not a big tequila sipper. I'm usually a margarita sipper. Tequila is shot based for me. But
Yeah,
What else
don't
can you
do
mix
shots.
tequila with? That's like popular.
Soda water.
Let's go to Google again. Popular tequila drinks.
It's gonna be like a Topo Chico water.
The 23 best tequila cocktails.
Oh, we just opened a whole new door for Kyle.
I'm gonna be a bartender by the end of this weekend. Tequila
I'd
Sunrise.
tip you good.
Tequila Sunrise. Cherry lime tequila cocktail. A Paloma. That's
I
popular.
like Palomas.
Yeah. Jalapeno margarita. The problem is now you're going to get all the different margaritas like lime margarita, jalapeno margarita, spicy margarita, skinny margarita, single margarita, Texas ranch water.
That's the Topo Chico soda water with it.
There we go.
That's the low carb
Soda.
version or something people talk about.
Tequila Collins, whatever that is. Strawberry margarita. Forgot that one. That was a classic. Mexican Bloody Maria. Interesting. Anyways, you get the idea. There's a lot. Anyways, questions?
All right, Jack,
from
do you want to do the
chat?
intro?
Yeah, Jack, give us.
I'll leave that for you.
Where are you? Are you in a cave?
Huh? Is my audio bad?
Yeah, you just doing like a meditation week?
Oh, in terms of trading?
No, well, it was your audio, but sure. Let's dive in. Go.
Oh, trading?
Yeah, how we feeling? How we doing?
Trading's not going well for me, pals.
I mean, yeah.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah.
All right.
Take a seat.
We've been we've had a spot open for Jack Kellogg here for about a year, and it's warm for you now.
Yeah, I'm just so sick of the ups and downs, man. It's fucking torture. So
Have you been trading this week?
this week, I took one trade. I got blown out on TNX, and
Yeah.
and then I didn't really trade after that.
It's a little
Did
rage.
you throw a monitor?
No, but what I did do is actually I defunded my trading account.
Did you delete the apps?
Yup. I'm wiring my money out of my trading app, or most of my trading apps.
So do we have permission to use that money to start our liquor company?
I'll have to see the numbers. I still might have better odds trading.
Oh wow, he doesn't trust us, Kyle.
He doesn't believe in the tequila brand.
Jack, I went to college, and Kyle knows liquor.
I don't know. I feel like if anyone, I would trust Huddy.
Huddy's the connoisseur.
I think
Certified alcoholic.
Huddy'd be the guy to spend all the money in the business, like on taste testing, and then we can't go to market. We got to go on Shark Tank.
Don would definitely have better numbers, but Huddy would probably have a better drink. And Kyle would just fucking try to switch it to margaritas.
So what's the plan then, Jack? Taking a little break. What are you waiting to see for you to come back?
I don't know. Just taking a break for now.
Is it like a mental health triple, or are you like? Is it just the market needs to shift a little bit?
Honestly, like I've been doing a lot of like research on like how I got to where I was, and I've realized it was just like a few very key moments, whether that was the AMC, GME, OZSC, TSNP. It's just like once there's multiple breakouts, multiple first red days, multiple first green day type of tickers, that's really like where I feel like my edge is in terms of losing almost no money and just printing profits. Trading stuff with little information, you're going to win some trades for sure, and you're also going to lose some trades. But like as of right now, I think like the biggest edge is if you just focus on like the pumps, the Chinese pumps, the OTC pumps and shit like that, and I'm just not willing to grind those out.
Well, also, would you agree? I mean, beyond just the key moments, the biggest trades of your career. I mean, the learning curve to get you where you were to be prepared for those. Like I know it's not. I know it's you're not undercutting it because it's like you went through and you don't have to go through it again. But the 2017, 2018, 2019 to then set you up for the greats of I guess 2019 was TSNP, so that was a good start. But then the 2020, 2021, and even 2022 was a pretty good year for you. So it all compounds on itself. But I agree that the second half specifically for this year has been tough, at least for me.
I'm trying. I mean, one thing that I've been thinking about a lot is I'm trying to get out of the mindset also that like, okay, let me just keep trading since it's been so bad the back half of the year. It's like, let me just keep trading because I know things are going to turn around, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to stay away from that mindset because you really don't know at the end of the day. Like, it could be a shit-ass winter, and it could continue to be trash. Like, we never really know. But I feel like if I'm trading right now, I would go in with that mindset that it has to get better because from what we've seen, it's always gotten better around this time. And I'm just trying to wait and see and wait for stuff to start running, wait for people to start making money until I really will be interested in again.
I think that's Ben, and you mentioned it like a couple minutes ago when you first started. Like the hardest part, I feel like, of like, we'll call it 2023, but I feel like to an extent 2022 as well, just with our main strategies, not excluding the pumps, is it's like really hard to find any plays where you can risk truly small amounts of money and make real money. Like in 2017, 18, 19, like when me and Jack lived together, like we could get away with risking $200 on every trade, like, and win 2 to 5K. And we could do that multiple times a week. Sometimes, Huddy's term, pyramid into a play. And eventually have really, really big profits without ever having to really go through any drawdowns or big losses or even lose all that often. And I feel like the biggest switch up this year is like you have to be willing to just not trade when the pattern's not there and wait for those week or 2 week stretches when you do get some runners, when you get your life W's or CDIOs or TTOOs or NVOSs. And you take those, you try your best on them, you nail them, and then you have to go right back to sitting on your hands. Like there's just, I think Kyle's talked about it in the webinar last week or yesterday. It's just like, there's just not the opportunities like the quantity of opportunities we used to have to get right, where you could screw up, get right. Now those screw ups lead to a drawdown, and you're sitting on your hands for 2, 3, 4 weeks waiting for the play to get you out of it. And if you don't sit back and wait for it, then you're getting penalized even more.
Yeah, that's a great point. I looked at I kind of did a more in-depth look on my second half because I was trying to figure out, okay, why am I only up 30 grand in comparison to the first half of the year, right? Why is 95% of my year from the first half? And I'm like, is it because I'm taking my first immediate thought was because, okay, I have way more bigger losers, I should say, in the second half. And so I looked at, how many 10K plus losers do I have in the second half versus the first half? And honestly, I have about the same amount. I have about, I think it's like 5 to 10 on each quarter or each half of the year. So I'm like, okay, well, that's odd. I mean, maybe I should be looking at how big. Maybe in the first half I only have they're right at 10K versus this second half I know I have a 30K, I have a 40K, I have another 40K, I have another 30K. So they're a little bit higher on the higher end. I have to do more digging for that. But what I actually found is that, okay, if all of the roughly bigger losers are the same, what about the winners, right? How many 10K plus winners do I have? And I only have, about 10 or so 10K plus wins in the second half, but I think I had 20 plus in the first half. So regardless how in-depth I want to look at it, the reality is the first half had a lot more generous of opportunities for me to just, cover up the losses, if you want to call it. Right, kind of not sweep them under the rug, but right, like you said, Dom, bring yourself back to profitability much quicker than you wouldn't have if you were in a tougher market like we're seeing now. So yeah, that's been my experience. At least immediately, I was like, oh wow, like if I don't have and that's actually what happened a lot in 2022 as well, where the moment some of these China pumps start working, because that was such a big part of my year last year. The moment my month started getting a little bit shaky, you know what I mean? So there's an offense and a defense, and you gotta pay attention to both.
Buddy?
What's the question?
It wasn't a question.
We're just reminiscing on our year, yeah.
Talking about just like what Jack started with, just the struggles and not necessarily the decreasing edge, but the quantity of the plays right now, and how sometimes it's just better to step away, how our numbers have kind of shifted in terms of how much easier it is to make money. Anywhere you want to go, really.
It's kind of a tricky year. I think definitely in the first half of the year we had more of like a multi-day runner type of market structure that was really supportive for those liquid plays that had big moves to the downside and probably gave birth to those 20 plus 10K wins, where we've had just objectively a lot fewer of those in the second half of the year. That's number one. Number two, my November, for the most part, I am break even. I've barely traded. And you're right. Like in this market, especially in the last 6 months, like if you make a mistake, like it penalizes you a lot harder because it's a lot harder to actually come back from that mistake, especially if you let it get away from you. Like it can really put you in the hole. And pretty much what I've suffered from this month is, like, October was a great month. I really did well in October. We had some really active stocks in small cap. I mean, that whole Seco, OPGN, TPST, like I actually need one of those a month and I'll have a great month, right? And so for that 2-week spree, it was really good. And then, like, as the year has been, it's like, yeah, like Dom was saying, it's like, if that's not happening anymore and the market shifts just like minutely to the left, like you have to be able to adapt really fast. And the sheer fact of it is we haven't had the same runners that we had in October and November. And so my biggest struggle in November, and it's not really a struggle, again, I haven't really traded that much, but I've experienced two things. One, I've been traveling a lot, which is why I haven't been trading much. It's been kind of a wild 2 weeks for me. But like a lack of preparation, right? especially being on the West Coast, I've been in Vegas, San Francisco, and Scottsdale for the past 2 weeks, a little bit of Texas. And this like time zone thing, like I'm not waking up early enough to do the due diligence, to put my lines on the chart, to understand the fundamentals, what kind of, share structure am I trading? Is there dilution? Like all of that really matters to give you some kind of idea of what the stock's going to do. Without having that preparation in the morning, like it's kind of like shooting in the dark. So I've been having a lack of preparation in the morning, mainly because of time zone and traveling and a little bit of drinking on the weekdays. And then to compound on top of that, like after having a good month in October and wanting to finish the year strong, I suffer from FOMO, just wanting to be in what I think, is a good play, when in reality, without the, immense amount of preparation that is necessary in this market to be meticulous about what you trade, you kind of put yourself in a situation to like maybe short weakness and want to be there on the breakdown and then get squeezed into a trap, right? Like you really need to come in with like a level head of like no FOMO, understand, what patterns are working the previous month and are they still working this month, right? It shifts a lot. And then B, just having the right preparation, right? Going into it. And I think if you can achieve those two things, I mean, for me, if I can control the FOMO and just prepare as much as I can, like November does not scare me. Like there have been some solid opportunities. October was great. But it's just about having the right perspective, right? Like for the most part, Dom, we've been, uncovering a new strategy, like these day one gap and crap type ideas, because the sheer fact of the matter is there's not really multi-day runners. Like bread and butter setup that probably got us a lot of our profits in the first 6 months are not around. So a lot of this time right now is just, again, like it comes back to preparation, running stats on Spiky, going through the fundamentals, going through the filings, understanding what the agenda is, what the event is that's causing the spike, and just being super observant and aware. And I think there are good situations to find yourself in, but it's not a market where you can like wake up 15 minutes before market open, short a red green move and cover it up for a 20% profit in 10 minutes. Like it's not the same.
Right.
That'll exist in the future eventually. All markets will, kind of rhyme and rhythm and come back. But this is definitely like a market that's going to reward the more meticulous trader, the trader that's prepared and is trying to find edge. Even though there's a hard edge to find, it's just kind of different. It's somewhere else that isn't what, a lot of us have built our careers off of. That's fine though.
Yeah. Something you said there made me think of somewhat similar but a different topic, which is, same thing, same but different. When you talked about FOMO, and it results in like wanting something to happen but nothing really is, it definitely makes me think of like wanting to self-reflect and trying to be honest with maybe my subconscious here of like since 2020 and 2021 I haven't had P&L wise as good of years, right? Obviously we had an insane amount of opportunity, and it makes you question of like, okay, well, I have more capital to trade with, I'm a more experienced trader, but can I still create those kind of years? And 2022 was on track, but I gave half of it back. 2023 has definitely been on track, but the second half I've just kind of gone sideways. So it's slow, it's improvements, right? And I definitely think if I want to try to like be as brutally honest as I can, I definitely feel like over the summer, call it first half ending and then second half beginning, looking at how the year is going and knowing that the summer and fall would be a little more tougher, but would still be there would be some consistency there. I definitely feel like I probably told myself that like, wow, you're already up 750K. Like you're going to crack. This is going to be your first year over $1 million without a pandemic market, and the way it looks now, it's like, if I end my year right now, it won't be $1 million. And does it matter? Like that's what I'm trying to get at. Like what am I creating FOMO or fear over? Not hitting some arbitrary, BS number. So it's like I'm okay ending my year now. In fact, I kind of would prefer it. Like let's just get over this hump and get us back to somewhat of a more generous market. You know what I mean? Because the way I'm for November, I'm down like 40 something grand, unfortunately, mostly because of AMC. I think like 50 actually, unfortunately. But so it's like I'm fully prepared to end November red unless we get a good opportunity. And again, and then unless December is this blowout insane month, I'm just not going to get to $1 million. It's just not going to happen. And again, that's perfectly fine. Like it's still a great year. It's just one of those things where your brain will play games with you. We're like, oh, it's not the nice round number of 1000000.
And as if January 1st, like
makes a
actually,
difference.
yeah, it makes a difference. It's
Right.
just a day.
Right. Exactly. So I don't know.
That's why you just gotta take it trade by trade. You're only as good as your next trade, but eventually you look back 5, 10 years down the line, and that's when you see the profit curve and like all those small stepping stones kind of add up. And you're gonna have slower years, you're gonna have fast-paced years, but I think obviously for 2023, 750K, it's pretty fucking good.
The golf clap.
Round of
That's
applause
W's
for
in the
him.
chat.
Well, right on. Anything, comments,
Right
concerns?
on, Big Kyle.
Any comments there, Kellogg? Any thoughts from our we just kind of went off tangent there.
Just rebutted.
Yeah.
Rift.
Or Jack got us started there.
I think the reason that I don't want to go through the the trials and tribulations of this dull period, which is key to make money in the like Kyle said after I said what I said 10 minutes ago or whatever it was. Kyle was like, it's very key to go through the 2017s, the 2018s, the 2019s, whatever. Go through the trades, go through the process, adapt, all that stuff. And I do think that it's very key for people that are learning, for people that are still coming up, which I assume every single person here is. You need to do it to make money in the hot market. But for me, it's just like, I don't know if I really need to. That's what I've been trying to fight in my head this entire year. It's like, do I need to do this again? Like, I've already proved to myself. I've already gotten to where I want to be. I've already made all the money that I know to do it in the world. So it's like, do I want to keep grinding and do that over again? Or can I try to trade small and just enjoy smaller profits, smaller account, which is what I've been trying for the last several months, which has had its upswings and also had its downswings. But now I'm just at a point where I don't really even want to trade right now. Like, I just don't feel the same passion I once did. I haven't felt like that energy to be like, let's get after this, let's do this. So that's like what I've been dealing with in my head for this entire year. And of course, it's been difficult making money, losing money, making money, losing money. And my curve is even more is even worse than Kyle's. Kyle said the last half of the year. I'm looking at from March to now. Wow. I've only made about 15% more than what I made in the first 2 months. So it's been a lot of ups, been a lot of downs. Every time I hit 2 million year to date, I just come in like a couple 100,000, then I'll make 150K back, then lose another 100K, and it's just in this V.
Yes, chop.
Just this chop, and it's also these plays that like they're not satisfying at all. Like, it's not like I'm buying a breakout or a level that I can trust on an OTC. I'm gapping it up overnight. I'm going to bed, literally waking up the next morning knowing I'm going to make money pretty much 9 times out of 10. I have to short this stuff, or I have to hold through crazy shakeouts, crazy traps, or crazy pumps, all like crazy just movements in the last 2 years. It's not this really easy thing, and that's also what I've been thinking about too. It's like Dom said, we used to literally buy with $200 risk and make 5K. And that's just like not possible anymore. Has there even really been a trade to do that since NKLA? Like, it's very far and few between, because there's so many shakeouts, so many, stop traps, hunting for liquidity. With the high rates out there, money is a lot tougher to get. So they're fucking people, and they're stop hunting on every single market, every single play. And it's mentally frustrating. And it's also very hard to wait for that moment to want to enter. I mean, sometimes you get it where you enter perfectly into a trap and you end up being right and it reverses, but it's still not that same framework that we're used to, where we're literally just looking for consolidation. We're looking for extension. We're looking for something as simple as a red to green move as an indication of short sell. I haven't looked for a red to green move to short sell pretty much since like BBBY. Like, what other stock has been that like blatant? Like, when this goes red, it's going to get absolutely murdered 20%. Like, I couldn't bet my life on anything like that. So that's also what's been frustrating to me.
Yeah,
those were the days.
They'll be back. They'll be back. But yeah, and Kellogg is at the perfect part in his journey to do that. Like you said, like, you've got all the money you need. You don't have to be around chopping yourself up if you don't want to, right? So that totally makes sense.
But trading's addicting, and there's like a love for the game and a love for the sport of like always trying to like find a new edge. But yeah, it can be tough sometimes, right? Like, I feel like you're definitely in a position where you don't have to fucking deal with it anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Thomas says Clover Rita. There it is. That's it, guys. We have it. I like that name. William says he's getting a golden doodle in December and named it Clover. William, be honest with us. Is that because of this community, or is it just random? Because if it is,
or is it a green dog?
Yeah, because if it is, that's freaking awesome. We would love to see a picture of Clover. Only because I love golden
Clover
doodles.
mascot.
Right. Only because I love golden doodles. My parents have one. They're just the best. But Wayne says BTC my favorite. Yep, mine too.
BTC has been a reliable asset this year.
That has.
We jumped on that bandwagon.
I convinced Huddy to buy some Ethereum, and he's up.
Do you know how he convinced me? It's actually kind of a good story.
Yeah, go ahead and tell it, Huddy.
Kind of shows my degeneracy, but we'll just get into it. So there was a day I lost $9,000 on a stock in like 5-10 minutes, maybe. It was great. Good times. And I was a little heated about it. And Kyle saw me in a vulnerable state, messaged me. And he was like, dude, if you lose $9,000 in 5 minutes, well then why don't you put $9,000 into, crypto and lose it over like 20 years? And like, you have it, you can lose it. And I was like, you're totally right. And he's like, well, we got this, and Catalyst coming up. You're not going to see prices much lower, and you should get in. And I said, "What? Okay, let's do it." And I've been buying it ever since for the past 2 months, every day.
And here we are.
It's been great.
You're up, and since then Ethereum's gone from 1,600 to 2,100. So there you have it.
Is that 21 now?
It's at 21, or it's at 2,050 right now, ish.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's
It's
lovely.
the perfect timing. I hope it just continues.
In the Clover chat.
Oh,
see that?
look at that. Cute. It's so little too. Like, it's such a little puppy. You like can't even tell how it's gonna shape and form. And like, it's like a baby. You have no idea what a baby's face looks like until it's grown up. It's super, super cute. Very
Cute
cool.
kid too.
Let's show the chat. Let's show the stream so everyone can see.
And we love the Crocs. I'm a big Croc guy myself. I think they're the most reliable shoe.
And the sports mode, gotta love to see it.
If you got to go for a run, you got to put them in sports mode. Yeah.
Or a hike.
Cute. We all love puppies.
Wait,
If you want access to
William
that
Gregory
picture, what do you
named
got to
it
do, Kyle?
Clover?
Wait, say it again. We had two. What's up, Kellogg?
Said William Gregory named his new dog Clover.
Yep.
Yeah.
As for Clover trading, or was it just a coincidence?
I
William?
asked him. Let's see. Let me try to go to chat. See if I find his answer.
Nothing.
He said it's because of the community for sure. My wife thought of it, and it was like, hell yeah, that's cool, sweet, that's awesome, that's sick.
That's good, man.
Maybe
gotta-
is it a he or a she?
Next boot camp, William, that if you come to, you got to bring Clover, the mascot.
It's a motivational thing.
Yeah.
We're all gonna do it for Clover.
That's funny. Let's see. I think I missed some comments here. Let's look.
Speaking of the next boot camp, we're thinking about doing one in New York in March for those people that would want to come or are planning on coming. First weekend of March is what we're thinking.
Yeah. Apologies for everyone who wanted Florida. We tried long and hard, but
And long.
we just couldn't make it happen. But we are, I'd say 90% certain on New York first weekend of March. We just got to finalize the last couple things, and
Get
tickets.
amped up about that.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be our biggest yet. It's a big city, big place. And,
We're doing the Empire State Building, right?
I don't know about that one, but
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought we were doing it on the top floor.
yeah, right. That's where the conference is held. Yeah,
It's also where everyone's sleeping.
yeah.
We're ordering pizza in.
$50,000 boot camp per person, including
Yeah,
us.
there's no hotel rooms. Everyone just brings a sleeping bag, and we're all gonna stay in.
No, sleeping bags will be provided. I talked to a Walmart.
There we go. Walmart sponsoring. Yeah.
Yep.
Carl says, I think opportunities almost each day to profit. Gappers up 50% or more, almost always 25% to 50% bounces on Life W, CDIO, PXMD. Healthcare
Which are
sector has been fire the last few weeks. Totally. And I think that's why Dom and Huddy have definitely switched over to Gap and Grappers. CDIO was well, Life W was sick. Unfortunately, I personally couldn't find any cheap borrows. There were some expensive ones, but nothing I was really that eager to pay for. CDIO was pretty solid. I made some money there, but unfortunately did miss the biggest red day of them all when it went from, 130 to 90 cents. I kind of butchered that one, so unfortunate.
Yeah, I think there's kind of two approaches to longevity in the markets. And one of them is, okay, you spend a couple years, you make some money, you learn your bread and butter, and you accept the fact that the market is cyclical. Your patterns will come, your patterns will go, markets will come and help you, and markets will be non-existent for your patterns. And you accept that. You go through long periods where you don't trade, or you take on the adaptation approach, which is, I think about 2019 for me and Kellogg, where OTCs dried up and we were kind of forced to learn new strategies. That's when he really, I think, started to reach out to a lot of other people trading a lot of listed stocks. And I was a little behind the curve there. And I think it just kind of goes to show how hard trading really is in the long run. Like, you have to constantly be on the lookout for new opportunities, because I truly believe in any single market we've ever seen in small cap since we started, like, there is opportunity to make money. Whether or not you are actually prepared and making money is a different story, but you can learn from those experiences. You can learn from those markets. You can adapt on the fly. And one person says, there's opportunities every day. You can make money. And, maybe one person is making money every single day. And another person who's traded profitable for the last 10 years is struggling this year. Like, that is something you see all the time, because everyone has different big picture goals. Everyone has different like big picture strategies on how they want to manage the risk, how they want to manage their accounts, how they want to, manage their lives. But it just kind of shows like the big picture of trading and kind of how hard it is, and how you have to, if you want to, it's a profession at the end of the day. And everything Kellogg said and just all of his frustration really just makes you think about any high level athlete, any high level actor, whatever it is. Like, it doesn't stop. It doesn't get easier. No matter how many years you've been doing it, how long, how many different examples you've seen, like, the game just keeps changing and changing and changing. And yeah, you have more experience, but you still need to dedicate so much time to it to continue to have an edge, because the edge is so small in this game that for you to have an edge today or tomorrow, it could be, night and day difference between in 3 months from now. And, it's a really good analogy for life, and just that, like, with the longevity of it, you have to just keep pushing, putting the time in. And if you want to do it for the long run, or you take the patient approach and being disciplined and waiting for your setups to come back, you have to keep grinding and learning, new strategies, different setups, new markets, whatever it is. But yeah, that's kind of the long and the short of it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's and that makes me think there's a probably a silver lining between that too, because there's definitely, like, like Carl said, there's opportunities out there. And I agree with what you said, Dom, of like, there is a little bit of adapting, there is a little bit of learning that needs to be taking place. But there's also, I would say, a cautionary thing of like, you also don't want to get caught chasing wherever the coin's going, right? Like let's say small caps just were dead. And I mean, not arbitrarily, not
like OTC dead.
Yeah. Like OTC dead. There is almost nobody making money anywhere anymore. But there's certainly going to be opportunity in someone who's trading options or someone who's trading the Forex market. It's like at some point there is, I think, a line or a box that you want to kind of put yourself in for at least a time being, of like, how far are you willing to adapt? Because I think you don't want to get so caught up in chasing what's working, and all of a sudden, the moment you get it, it's gone, right? And that's not a reason not to do it. Like, you always should be adapting and learning, but there's definitely something to be said about spreading yourself too thin, constantly looking for just what's working and just chasing things and trying to literally find your lane and be willing to stick in it for a little bit as well. And again, there's no exact right way to do that, but I definitely think there's some value in there as well. So it's a little bit both.
Yeah, I think you have to have like your identity, who you are as a trader, and it's you can't go too far outside of it. You don't want to be the guy who's longing breakouts for 5 years and then all of a sudden you're shorting parabolics tomorrow, and that's the strategy you pick. Like it usually has to work with some sort of extension of what you already know and what you've already mastered, and if not, then you need more experimentation. You need stats to back it up, like what me and Huddy are trying to do. And if you are going to go way out in left field because that's what you see going on in the market, it just takes a little bit longer. And we've seen this type of market been going on for like a year and a half now, 2 years, and so a lot of the things that have changed have been pretty constant. We've had little periods where multi-day breakouts are phenomenal, right? You can probably name them on two hands. But for it's not anything like what it was in 2017 or 2020, where we had 10 in 1 week. So I totally agree with what Kyle said, but yeah.
And here's kind of like the thing that I struggle with, right? It's like for me and my trading style, it's like first red days on multi-day runs, like that's like the Super Bowl. That's like the biggest game. That's where I want my size. That's where I want to make my money, right? Like that's what I do best on. But I can't play well in the Super Bowl if I don't have a season behind me of practice, of regular season games. And that's kind of where it comes in, where it's like I almost have to I like not like Kellogg, but like I have to keep grinding here. I have to keep developing strategy and practicing like, okay, where are the traps? How am I going to get short into like a liquidity pocket or whatever it is? If I don't practice those nuances and I'm in tune with the market, well, when the Super Bowl comes around, I'm not prepared to take that short or understand how that short's going to look. So that it's like, for me, it's like I can't be cold for 6 weeks and then see a first red day and then expect to nail it. I'll botch it 5,000 different ways. So that's the struggle. It's, as you're developing and kind of trading like B minus setups, position sizing and just like, again, play selection. For me, like I have to do it. I can't just step away and not trade and then expect to come back all of a sudden for the best pattern and nail it. I would be lost. So that's kind of like the
It's almost a guaranteed loss unless you're Steven Ducks.
Right. So that's catch 22, right?
What, the retired trader mindset?
Yeah, you can't be like completely turned off and then just like all of a sudden like something dings your scanner and you're like, okay, full
you're
side.
on a beach in Mykonos and all of a sudden it's the biggest multi-day breakout of the year and you just happen to find yourself in a 200K position and you nail it.
What trade is he talking about?
I don't know.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, in
That
theory.
never happened.
In my dreams.
It sounded like it sounded like it happened before the way you said it.
I'm a storyteller, but no, I'm just saying in theory, like, you take weeks and weeks off and then all of a sudden someone alerts you, oh, there's a big play potential. It's really hard to just go and nail it, like, no matter what, because you're going to feel like you're getting your feet wet again, but that's the one you were supposed to be prepared for.
If you haven't traded for 6 weeks and it's a big pattern, you're gonna end up shorting the open. Your heart rate's gonna go up. There's gonna be some things on the level 2 that go up and down, and you're like, all right, I'm in. And that's usually not the right answer.
Well, alrighty. Shall we do a couple more questions before we close her out here? Let's see. I don't even know where we lost our
There's a decent, unless you want to talk about Bitcoin, there's a decent question on psychology.
Go for it, Dom.
How much do you guys think that the reason for slower this year is that you already made a lot of money and are not grinding like before? Let's get real with it.
Wait, specifically, like, the question is, do we think that's the case?
For like individual performance, do you think the reason you're not breaking to new highs or setting new records for yourself is because you've already done it and like you're not working as hard as we were in 2017, 18, 19?
Yeah, go ahead, Adi. You had some thoughts?
Sorry, my camera died, but I'll just answer it as quick as I can. I think I'm working just as hard as I was in 2017, 2018, and 2019, and my results are pretty much very similar to 2019 right now, which, for 2020 and 2021, like it all seemed like exponential and increasing. But that was also because of the unique opportunity of what 2020 and 2021 was and a little bit of 2019. But now I've kind of reverted back to the mean where I'm like still hitting the same years that I had in 2018 and 2019. I'm still like uncovering strategies and learning and building statistics and talking to other traders. So I don't know, for me, like it's not the amount of money I made. Like I still want to continue to do well in the sport. Like this is my job, my career, and I always just want to get better. And it just kind of feels like a tougher market more than anything. I think that I'm definitely here every day, scanning every day, looking through every filing, running spiky stats at the end of the night. Like I'm doing the work, and I'm getting the same results as 2019 right now. Like I'm having a fine year. Um, but it's nothing like I can't like right now, like I haven't been able to beat 2020 and 2021, but the hope is like the more I uncover, the more I research, the more I dive in, the more my size will increase, the better my entries will become, the better my risk reward will be, and I can get back to, maybe beating my 2020 and 2021 years in a non 2020 and 2021 year. That's the hope, that's the goal, that's the drive, and I truly think it's possible, and I'm here doing it. Like I'm telling you right now, like I'm not, you know, sipping Mai Tais and Mykonos all year round. That's just the summer when it's slow.
Yeah, I am in the boat with Huddy. Am I working as hard in the same way as 2017, 2018, 2019? I would say no, but there's definitely no part of me that has been like taking the pedal off the gas kind of thing. Like if anything, I in a lot of ways I feel like I'm just starting. As crazy as that sounds, I just think there's so much more upside to what I think again, I have no idea. I'm totally guessing, but just knowing how the markets go every 5 to 10 year to 100 year. I mean, the market's been around forever, and there's always been opportunities. You just have to be around for them. And so it's only a matter of time till the next great set of opportunities come along, or the next great market period comes along. And maybe I'm being too eager, maybe I'm being already too excited for it, but I'm here, right? I'm ready to roll and show up every day and be just that much better for it when it comes around. So yeah, in many ways, I don't feel like I've gotten any lazier. I've gotten just as consistent and determined as I've ever been. So yeah, that's my perspective on it.
Yeah, for me, and I'll be straight up, I do think I got super casual after 2020 and 2021. I had a lot going on in my life between 2021 and 2022. Uh, the Chinese pumps really made most of my year last year and were able to bail me out of habits that I was building, the laziness that was growing, and allowed to cover up for a while because I still had a really, really nice year last year, which was most duly in part to those setups. Um, that's kind of what we were talking about earlier, just like how hard it is to keep this going in any profession. And in the last couple months, I've realized how hard I worked in 2016, 17, 18, and how much attention to detail, how much attention to the plan, how important it is to execute, like, how small the margin for error was. And because I feel that now, and it's like I've started to study again. I've started to build out spreadsheets. When I get done here, I'm gonna say, Huddy, let's go do some spike eat stuff. And I realized how hard it was the first time to get profitable and get it going and to build the blueprint and to build my system for myself. And kind of what Jack's talking about, like, do I want to do that again? Do I want to do that right now and grind, or should I just sit back and wait? I didn't make $12 million. So I really would like to figure it out again and work hard and, prove something to myself that I can get back on track. So I do think that in any market, I should be able to succeed and to make money. And that if I don't, it's primarily on me. I can have red weeks or red months, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, like, red years really shouldn't happen, or break even years. And that, I think, is totally due to work ethic at the end of the day.
I like that.
Yeah,
What about you, Kellogg?
I'll answer. Um, the question is, what have I gotten lazier since I've made the money?
Do you think that let me read it again. Do you think that the reason for the slower action this year, like individually, is that you've already made money and are not grinding as hard as you were before?
Yeah, I would say definitely that. I think what's more important is how hard you're working versus your experience. Because you can be the most experienced trader known to man. Like, you could be trading for like 30, 40 years. But I'd rather, like, if I was a trader manager of capital or whatever, I'd rather put in that trader that's grinding every single day and wants it so bad. I'd put him in 2, 3 years of trading versus someone who's done it for 30 years and someone who's like lazy, because the more that you want it, it's like the law of attraction. Like the harder you work, you're gonna get to where you want to be, right? Um, and I've definitely gotten lazier for sure because I'm just trying to figure out kind of where I want to be and what I want to do with trading. Just because to really like make more than I had already made in 2020 and 2021, one, we would need another bubble market, or two, I'd need to learn large caps or advance to the next stage. But to make 8 figures in a year day trading small caps, it's almost impossible. There's definitely people that can do it, but it's probably just a handful of people. And I just think that the opportunity to make more money for me now is either learn other stuff, or just relax and passively invest and just chill, and that's kind of where I'm at. And maybe trade when I'm feeling it, and but I'm trying to just take a break at this point and just let things shake out, let my emotions shake out, let everything shake out, and then come back once I see, like, I'd love to see Dom turn the page. Like personally for me, like if Dom can turn the page, like breakouts start working, he starts, consistently profiting off day ones. I see Kyle have like a couple of like really big trades on some type of, first red days, as well as, and then Huddy's kind of doing a little bit of both, like just nailing longs and shorts with, um, a little bit less size, but he's still continuing to be super, super consistent and letting 5 figure gains add up. Like that's what I'd love to see to get back into trading, because then I know that it's proven itself, right? It's the same thing as letting a stock prove itself. Like I don't need to predict that a stock's going to hold a certain key level. Like, let me see my friends start to make money, and then maybe I can get back on the horse. But I mean, Kyle's said it. He's made 30 grand in the last 4 months. Dom has barely made any money this year. Huddy, I'm not exactly sure what he's doing, but I don't think he's doing, super good. So for me, it's just like, let's see what is going to happen here for me. And then it's like, then I want to kind of jump on the bandwagon.
I like it. I like it. And that's really good to remove FOMO, because you have no FOMO of missing, say, the first week or 2 weeks of trades, because there's likely then going to be the next 2 more weeks, another month, maybe 2 months of or maybe even 3 months of really great stuff coming right after that. So that's solid.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like what hurts me more than else is trying to predict that. It's the classic roulette wheel thing. It's the same thing, right? It's like, how many times can it land on black in a row, right? Can it land on black 6 times in a row, 10 times, 15 times, 20 times? Like, you never really know, right? And trying to predict, like, oh, it's going to be red this next spin because it's been black for the last 8. It could very well be black again, because at the end of the day, the market can do whatever the fuck that it wants until it really proves itself. Then I think we can see, like Kyle was saying, if I just wait until people start making money or something is very obvious, I can trade. Like, that's the kind of stuff I can trade. I can wake up and trade a first red day. I can wake up, I can trade a breakout, a 3 p.m. breakout out, VWAP hold into a gap up on increasing volume in a hot sector. Like, that stuff I know like the back of my hand. But if I want to sit here and grind and learn new setups and trade stuff that's not even close to an A, like, you really would have to work way harder than I'm willing to work to be very, very consistent. Like, I've had pockets where I've made money in the last 8 months. That's for sure. A lot of opportunity has come, but it's just not consistent at all. And I know a phase will come where, like, 2 months the market's really good, a month the market's really, really good. But who knows when that's going to be, and who knows when that next sector is really gonna, light up.
I like it. I like it.
I missed the 5 figure Friday posts on Twitter. That's when you know. It's kind of funny. I was in Vegas with like Maya Lee and Lucas and a couple other guys, and we had this whole argument about the roulette table, where someone was like, "Yeah, like I think Maya was saying it. He was like, yeah, like I'll sit at the roulette table, and if I see like 8 blacks in a row, like I'll go red, and I'll go, but dude, like the preceding roll has no effect, no like statistical effect on the next roll, right? And we got into this like super heated argument because we were both right in the sense where it's like, okay, fine, like you flip a coin 8 times in a row and you get heads 8 times in a row, like the next flip, like it doesn't matter what the last flip is, it's still random, it's still 50-50. But at the same time, the odds of hitting heads in a row like 25 times like exponentially gets harder and harder and harder to do. Like the odds of you hitting the other side are like, even though it's 50-50, it gets exponentially worse.
No.
Well, yeah, because the odds of hitting 25 blacks in a row are like 1 to 20 million. Like it's crazy to hit 25, or I think the most amount of blacks that have ever hit on a roulette table in a row is like 28. We did this whole math, and each roll itself is independent of the previous roll, so like it's 50-50, 50-50. But to have one side of the 50-50 hit 25 times in a row is like a huge anomaly. So we were
Yeah,
kind of
it's a
both
different bet.
It's a different bet, yeah, but it's the same math. It's just weird like that. Fun argument. And then
It's
we
the
went to
same. Yeah, it's the same thing as somebody with a 50-50 win rate in trading. Like their odds of winning 28 times in a row is crazy. But obviously, if same thing with basketball too, if somebody is going to hit 28 threes in a row without missing, it's also very hard. But usually when there's that momentum, the same thing as a short squeeze. Like it always goes much higher than you think. And same thing with the market on it could always get worse than you think. And it could all, just trying to predict that turn of events is very, very tough. And I've done my best when I've let it turn and then you come in.
And you know
So
what? Jack will always be there to bet red.
I will be.
Jack will be in a full-on conversation. I'll be just out there spending money on the roulette table. Jack will come in for one hand after talking to Kyle about Bitcoin or reverse mortgages, and then be like, "Whoa, I've seen 8 blacks in a row. It's time. Now it's time," and he'll go after it.
Oh, that's funny. Well, all right, everybody. This has been a good Wine Wednesday here. A lot of interesting topics, plus some questions at the end. Thanks very much for all the questions, guys. William, thanks very much for giving Clover a mascot. We've got a golden doodle ready to rock and
pumped.
roll. Yeah.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, again, March Boot Camp for New York City is coming up very soon, so stay tuned. 4-Leaf Clovers, you've got a webinar tomorrow with, I believe, Jack and Huddy. As always, Good Morning NASDAQ with Dom leading the way at 9 or 8:45 Eastern. And anyways, thanks so much, everybody. We will see you guys next time. Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Wait, peace out.